get back.
It's really an honor for me and a pleasure to welcome my close friend Amos Yadlim from Mind Israel. Mind Israel and SCSP have had an incredible partnership over the last 12 months. But also I want to welcome Mirav from the White House. I know you're so busy, so thank you for your time. Thank you for really coming by to talk about this important issue. And Yael, thank you so much also for coming all the way here. Before we start, let me just give you a quick set the context here, and then I'll turn it over to you, Amos. But look, we have said it from the beginning as SCSP. In the tech competition with China, we will never be able to go it alone. We don't have the scale, we don't have the capacity, we don't have enough resources without allies and partners. And getting those complementary capabilities together would help us get ahead in this space. And when I mean about allies and partners, I talk about our traditional allies and partners, but I also talk about allies that are emerging stronger and better with these new technology capabilities. And so generally, the US-Israel relationship is framed based on our security assistance. But I personally believe in the next coming decades, this assistance will be based on our technology relationship. Israel brings so much to the table. They have an innovation ecosystem. They have top-notch companies, and they have top-notch talented individuals. So how do we get our two ecosystems closer together was something that Amos and I have worked for the last 12 months. And we wanted to release a report today on the findings we have done and recommendations on how to even deepen this technology relationship. So that's sort of like the context of why we're here and what we're trying to discuss. But I'll turn it over to my friend and colleague Amos for some opening remarks.
Good afternoon, everybody. Yael, Meirav, Ili, a partner, a real partner in the last year, doing together this wonderful plan that we should be able and we must implement in the coming years together. It is a privilege to be here in Washington, D.C., together with the partners from SCSP to formally launch the US-Israeli Technology Alliance. For me, this initiative is not only about technology, it's about strategy. It is about the future of Israel-US relation. Israel-US relation is a unique place. On one hand, we are at the top. We are fighting shoulder to shoulder, wing to wing, in the level of generals, in the level of captains who are flying F-15 and F-35 based on shared intelligence and shared planning. This is a dream for me, who was dealing with the strategic cooperation for more than too many years, since 1982, when President Reagan initiated vis-a-vis Prime Minister Begin. However, we are also in a time that there are many questions about the assistance of the US to Israel, because Israel become not a superpower, but a middle power, and maybe Israel and the US should change the model of strategic relation from a model of assistance to a model of cooperation. And the US-Israel cooperation and relation has been one of the successful strategic partnerships in modern history. They built upon shared value, shared interest, deep people to people, leader to leader, friendship and trust, and decade of defense and intelligence cooperation. The recent war with Iran demonstrated the partnership at the best. Exceptional operational coordination in intelligence, air defense, planning, regional cooperation management, showing a model of allied integration under fire and providing Israel not only as a security partner, but force multiplier for the American power. The old framework remains essential, but it is not longer enough. It is not longer sufficient. The 21st century will shape not only by traditional military power, but by leadership in AI, semiconductors, cyber, quantum, advanced energy, biotechnology, and critical materials. The time has come for Special Relation 2.0, a broader, more receptional, more productive US-Israeli partnership that builds the security relation while adding more civilian and dual-use technology pillar. The alliance is based on strategic elements that help each other in different perspectives and different capabilities. The United States brings scale, capital, computing power, research depth, industrial capacity, and global reach. Israel brings the Israeli speed, the Israeli operational agility, the Israeli operational experience under pressure, cyber resilience, edge deployment, and high-quality innovation under constraints. This is a geopolitical necessity, not a technological project. China is using technology as a tool of strategic influence, including in the Middle East, while Iran is its proxy and shown how cheap and scalable technologies can be threatening advanced militaries. Democratic allies must build a trusted alternative. And last word, the US-Israeli Technology Alliance is architecture for this next era, not a list of isolated projects, but durable framework of joint R&D, co-development, industrial cooperation, trusted infrastructure, regional technology leadership, and measurable strategic outcome for both countries. I hope that the blueprint that we introduced today, we will see the result next year in your next Expo AI.
Thank you, Amos. No pressure there. Before we continue the conversation, we have a recorded message from the Acting Undersecretary of Energy, Alex Fitzsimmons. So let's watch that and we'll continue the conversation.
Hello, everyone. I'm Alex Fitzsimmons, Acting Undersecretary of Energy, and it's a pleasure to join you virtually. Thank you to the Special Competitive Studies Project for inviting me to take part in this important gathering. I also want to extend a special thanks to SCSP CEO Ili Barakhtari for the leadership and dedication that make events like this possible. I'm sorry I cannot be with you in person today, but I'm grateful for the chance to share a few thoughts. And I'm very much looking forward to visiting Israel at the earliest opportunity. SCSP continues to play a crucial role in helping the United States and its allies understand how emerging technologies, especially artificial intelligence, are reshaping global competition and opportunity. Your work helps ensure that decisions about these technologies are grounded in thoughtful analysis and aligned with democratic values. Today's release of the US-Israel Tech Alliance Strategic Technology Compact reflects a great deal of effort, insight, and collaboration. It presents a wide range of ideas on how our countries might deepen cooperation in AI, semiconductors, advanced energy, quantum science, biotechnology, and critical materials. The Department of Energy is reviewing the compact carefully and working to understand the full scope of what it proposes. We appreciate the constructive intent behind it and the seriousness with which this work has been developed. The United States and Israel already have a strong and productive partnership in science, technology, and energy, and the Department of Energy has long been ahead of the curve in this space. Programs such as the U.S.-Israel Energy Center and the BIRD Energy Program show how early-stage ideas can become real technologies that strengthen grid resilience, improve efficiency, and support innovation in both countries. These successes draw on DOE's unique capabilities, including our national laboratories, our scientific workforce, and the experience building enduring partnerships with Israeli counterparts. I also want to highlight that the Department of Energy is well represented at the Expo this year. Secretary Wright and DOE colleagues are participating in the discussions, underscoring DOE's continued leadership in AI, energy, and emerging technology cooperation. In addition to my role as acting undersecretary, I also serve as the director of the Office of Cybersecurity, Energy Security, and Emergency Response. CSER works every day to protect the nation's energy systems from cyber and physical threats. As AI and advanced digital technologies become more deeply integrated into our energy infrastructure, cybersecurity becomes even more important. Israel has significant expertise in this area, and our cooperation continues to strengthen the resilience of both of our systems. Over the past year, our broader technology relationship has gained important momentum. Last July, Secretary Wright and Prime Minister Netanyahu signed an MOU on artificial intelligence and energy, highlighting a shared interest in AI-enabled improvements to energy security and efficiency. And earlier this year, Undersecretary of State Jacob Helberg joined Israeli leaders in reaffirming cooperation under the Pax Silica framework. These steps reflect the growing importance of trusted partnerships in shaping the technologies that will define the future. The ideas presented in the compact highlight the complementary strengths of our two nations. Israel brings remarkable technical agility and real-world experience in areas such as AI efficiency, advanced materials, and cybersecurity. The United States contributes unmatched scientific infrastructure, high-performance computing, industrial scale, and the capabilities of our national laboratories. Together, these strengths create opportunities that neither country could fully unlock on its own. As we look ahead to meeting the energy demands of the AI era, strengthening grid security, advancing innovative energy technologies, and building resilient supply chains, collaboration with trusted partners will remain essential. The Department of Energy will continue exploring opportunities that align with our mission, support American innovation, and reflect our shared commitment to secure and responsible technological progress. Thank you again to SCSP and to ILI for the invitation and for your continued leadership. And thank you to everyone participating in this Expo for the work you are doing to help shape a future in which technology strengthens our communities, our economies, and our shared security. I wish you a productive and inspiring gathering, and I look forward to the continued collaboration ahead.
All right. Really, really good message from the acting under. Merav, let's if with your permission, Amos, I would like to start with Merav here. You're at the National Energy Dominance Council. Let's talk about, from your perspective, how does the future of U.S.-Israel tech relationship look like?
We can do all three.
I know
That's
you
what we
covered
want.
a lot.
Right. So, Ili, you and Amos, you and also Alex covered a lot of the different structures, opportunities, the groundwork that's been laid. But the Trump administration, in a very specific way, is interested in moving on to what's next. How do we implement these programs? So a little bit about National Energy Dominance Council. At the beginning of this administration, the president decided that energy is an aspect of both national security and resiliency here in the United States, but also an essential aspect of our diplomacy in a way that we wanted to create something on the level of the National Security Council, the National Economic Council, and so created what was in theory the National I said energy, National Economic Council, but that's the problem, that we already had an NEC. So that's where the National Energy Dominance Council came from. What Secretary Burgum, who's our chair, emphasizes is that energy dominance is something that translates to energy abundance throughout. And raising these points because it's an important part of the aspect of the compact, as well as the way that the Trump administration looks at the AI revolution that is necessary for us to capture, us as the United States, us as the globe, to capture the 21st century. So what the compact really highlights, and what the Trump administration's AI action plan captures, is that this isn't just about the innovation, which is obviously an essential piece, but it's the energy that powers it quite literally. It's the strength of a grid, it's the strength of the abundance of baseload. And so whether it's the AI MOU that was signed or the Pax Silica that lays these foundations, the next steps are those opportunities for interconnectivity. Where is the US, Israel, US, any sort of energy diplomacy direction going? It's those opportunities for strengthening grids to support not just data centers, but also the stability of grids in general. That's where National Energy Dominance Council most especially incorporates itself. We have a power team that had written the AI action plan section, where Israel and the US have a special partnership, though. I think each of you guys have touched on it already. It's the American hyperscale capabilities. It's those aspects that the US brings on size, but our hyperscalers, our most advanced semiconductor companies have already recognized that Israel is where you find the talent. It's where these technologies have been put to the stress test, that Israel has built its cyber infrastructure and its grid with the awareness that it has to be able to respond to immediate threats of a scale that really outpaces the presumptions that are made when you're developing these, when you're engineering these. I hear it from NVIDIA all the time that they are planning to invest in their Yokneam campus in a way that will make it the largest in the world because the talent exists in Israel. And so it's that combination of the size and scale that the United States can bring up, but the proven challenges that Israeli resiliency, not just the technology, but the talent as well, brings to the table, that the United States is working very hard to bring up to scale for ourselves. And it's something that everyone really deals with, but lives in Israel already. I think those are the places that you'll see the fastest ramp up of these opportunities.
No, super helpful. Yael, I'm going to ask you two questions just because we're getting close to the end, but because I want to ask Amos also about the future. But you just stepped into a new role to build Israel's National AI Agency. Tell me a little bit about the purpose of the agency. What is your role specifically? And then how do you view the US-Israel AI relationship?
Okay. So first of all, I understand I do not have the time
No, that's okay.
to talk about what we prepared. That is fine. So I will respond to your question. The directorate was started 5 months ago, led by Mr. Erez Askal. Personally, myself, I'm in the role of VP of International Cooperations. So, and as can be understood from the title of my role, is that we put a lot of emphasis, and that's actually one of the 5 pillars of our program, the international cooperations. We understand that in order for Israel to be where we want it to be, we need to work with allies, and obviously the US and all the history we have together is the first in that list. So I'm thinking about really quickly what to share with and what to talk about. But basically, our national strategy, I'll share the pillars maybe. It's about building advanced compute and manufacturing, developing human capital, accelerating responsible adoptions across government and industry, utilizing AI to resolve real-life challenges, and dominating in cyber and physical AI. And as I said, last but not least, the cooperation with our leading technology partners around the world. We are going to release, hopefully, end of this month, our AI strategy, the Israeli AI strategy. And I think that what is important that we hear here and learn from this this event and the roundtable this morning is practical ideas and how to take that strategy from the agenda, from the high level to actual concrete path, milestones, schedule. As you mentioned this morning, you sat here last year and here we are again a year after. So I think taking those concrete ideas from the strategy to the execution, that should be our next phase.
Absolutely. Thank you, Yael. Amos, we started this 12 months ago. We are here. We have a really good document. You are seasoned enough to know how this document ends. And I think we pledged from the beginning that we want to see this document come to fruition in full execution. Where do you see the opportunity here now?
I think we have to move from defense to technology. And technology is part of defense, but technology is much wider than defense. So we have to make sure that the advanced technologies of the 21st century are going forward on all aspects. Second, Israel is a startup nation. And we all know that the Israeli private sector have done wonderful work in the last decade or two. But now we have to move from startup nation to strategic anchor states. The state is important. So it's a private-public partnership that we have to push forward. We did it in a level of NGOs, but now it should go to the level of government to government. And it's the role of the two of us to make sure that our governments will get into this game, and a year from now, we see them signing
Taking
a
ownership.
document very similar to what we are signing today.
Excellent. And I would add, Amos, that not just our two organizations did the document. We have had a number of experts across both countries on each of these technologies really help us build this document. So it's a big constituency of people on both sides that we believe we have to take this relationship to the next level.
I have all the list, but I don't have time to thank all of them.
Yeah, we'll post it on the website. Thank you so much for being part of this panel. Amos, thank you for the partnership and extraordinary work your team has done, and Avner and everybody else. Please joining me with a round of applause to my Israeli friends here and Mara from the White House.
Thank you.